And we're back. All right, guys. Last night was incredible. There were some guys that came out, Sean, just a little off that tightened or didn't. Who were they?
I mean, let's start with one of the big glaring omissions here. Beirut from Iran did not materialize the way that a lot of us expected him. While he was winning those shows over in Dubai, a lot of people thought this is a guy that could be a Mr. Olympia winner. Not a contender, top 1, top 2, top 3. And against the guys he was with, I agree with that. But when you get here, and I said Saturday night, this stage sometimes is bigger than any other occasion, and you got to peak right, you got to be ready. Phil mentioned it earlier, the stress of wondering whether you're coming or going. It just didn't translate for Beirut.
Yes.
He looked a little bit watery, he looked a little bit flat, and it just didn't happen for him. He's not in the top 5.
Now, Phil, I'm gonna throw you out under the bus real quick. You said about Hadi when he first came out that his back looked a little soft, he looked a little off his mark.
Yeah, you know, we take notes while we're doing this, you know, prejudging. And on that sheet, I was writing to Tim. I said, he is not right. And I was hoping that he would prove me wrong. And through the posing, he came alive. But initially, I started seeing like a little bit of water on his lower back. Yeah. And I was like, gosh, damn, like he has some wrinkles there. And I was like, okay, I know how this works. He's going to pose, and he's going to have an opportunity to get better. And they're going to pose in which they did, and those wrinkles went away. Yeah. Thank goodness, because he has so much size for such a short guy. But, man, it was like, I was like shaking, because we know that a Mr. Olympia is supposed to come out on both nights.
And wow you.
And
yes.
Wow you.
Wow.
Well, I wanted... the internet wanted Nick Walker to have an amazing show, and I think Nick was probably very disappointed last night.
Well, a lot of people were cheering for him. I mean, he still probably is the crowd favorite. It just did not translate. I mean, right now I have him between 7th and 8th place, and he's going to have to do a lot to get above that. A little bit too watery, a little bit too heavy, and he didn't look like he had the confidence that he displayed on the internet coming into the show.
And I think that's the hardest thing in this era.
Yeah.
Is that you allow, and a lot of these athletes, they do this, fans, with what you guys say, whether it be good, bad, or ugly, they take that in, and sometimes they overdo their social media content, in my opinion. I used to go 0 dark 30, about 30 days out. I'm like, you're not going to see all this, because number 1, I need to focus. Number 2, buy a ticket. Number 3, I got to win a freaking Sandown. Yes. And I got to put these blinders on, because when you're in your own element, at your gym, eating the same food, sleeping in the same bed, taking pictures and videos while you're pumped, I mean, yeah, you're going to look larger than life, but how long can you hold it? And then when you get to Vegas, it's a drier climate, you have to acclimate, and unfortunately with Nick, he carries a lot of muscle. I felt like he needed to be down probably like 7 or 8, maybe even 10 pounds, just to get that pop to the muscle. I didn't see the pop there, and I felt like it was 2 different versions of Nick, from the front and from the rear. From the rear, I was like, okay, the legs, the glutes, I was like, massive, this and that. But from the front, I was like, it's kind of underwhelming. So hopefully during these next couple rounds, really, with the confirmations and all that, we could just see him come alive a little bit, because it took him, what, 3 years to get back on the Olympia stage?
3 years to get back here.
So we need to see that. I'm rooting for him. I know you guys are rooting for him, because at the end of the day, these are champions, and they need to produce.
And he is a people's champion. Now, here's a guy who did go dark.
Yes.
And last night, he stood out there in groups, and he was awe-inspiring. Andrew Jack.
Oh, my gosh. Finally.
Yes.
Finally.
He's the most improved on stage, period. If there's an award for that, you got to give it to Andrew. He's not Mr. Personality, but he did the business with his body.
Yeah. So he could go a lot of ways tonight. If he tightens up a little bit more, he could move into that top 3.
You want to break the internet, give him the title. I wouldn't complain. I certainly wouldn't argue.
No, and I think it's going to come down to his presentation. I feel like sometimes he comes out kind of slow, overly relaxed.
Yeah.
When you're that big, when you're that tall, you need to come out there, and there's a lot of shorter guys, right? Everyone's shorter than him, really.
Yeah.
Take up some space.
Yeah.
Show everybody that you're the champion.
Derek's good like that.
And then those transitions is where I feel like he needs to be a little quicker, get into those poses a little faster, especially on the side shots. If he does that, oh man, we're gonna. I hope he does it, because we're going to see something that is going to shake up the entire lineup.
Yeah, the body improve. I'm not sure about the confidence catching up just yet.
We've got some guys. If you've got Nick in 7th or 8th, who's 5 and 6 in your book?
Well, I mean, definitely Andrew Jack is up there. Again, Derek, Hadi, and Samson. Again, I don't want to dismiss Samson. He looks a little bit leaner, looked a little flat. that 24 hours, he could be like Phil Heath does. He could transform. I think he'll get it together tonight, and I think he'll hold on to his title.
I had asked him real quick. I had asked Samson because he saw me right back there. I was like, "How you doing, champ?" "I'm good." I said, "Did you fill up? Did you eat last night? Did you rest?" He goes, "Yes, I slept, I ate, I posed." I'm like, "That's what you do. You go out there with the confidence. You got to know that it's a confirmation round first.
Right.
So you got to give it everything you got, because during your free posing, I mean, look, everybody's going to look like the champ. But there's another person I think we got to talk about, Martin.
That's what I was hoping we'd get to. Martin Fitzwater came dialed.
He was the number 2 most improved bodybuilder because we hadn't even talked about him, really. He didn't hit the mark in Pittsburgh, and it would seem like a long way for him to go. But right now, I think he actually beats Nick. So I don't think we should not be sleeping on Fitzwater to break into that top 5.
So nobody walked away with it between the guys who were stealing poses from each other throughout the night, between Samson, Hottie, Derek, and Andrew.
The question is, what are they going to do with Derek? That's the million-dollar question. Where does Derek land in that lineup? I'm not 100% sure yet.
No,
I think he's going to be in the top 4. I don't know if he's going to be 1 or 2. He's the X factor.
You had a couple other guys with some great showings. Regan Grimes improved throughout the night last night. Martin looked amazing.
I don't want to let Phil off the hook, though. Where is Derek in this whole thing?
I mean, I'm where you're at.
Yeah.
Because I can't put my finger on it quite yet. And I felt like last year, even though he didn't, he was off last year. Him and Honey were both, I'd say depleted.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I was always expecting Derek to grow into it, kind of like what Hottie did initially. He came out, and then he grew into himself. Derek kind of held that same physique. And I thought maybe he was a little 90%. But we have to keep in mind, and no one gets points for this, but I just still have to say it. He competed at last year's Olympia. He won the Arnold. He did Pittsburgh, and now he's back. That's 4 shows within 12 months.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. So we got to see what he did as far as adjustments are concerned. Of course, he's got a new coach, and they were trying to figure out their recipe on a 2-day show at the Olympia. I do believe if he can tighten up and grow a little bit and get that graininess back, he can win. But if he doesn't, he could be second, third, fourth. I don't know. And that's what's going to, this confirmation round, we got to see some poses, man.
Yeah, well, you know who was consistent? Brandon Curry. I was actually surprised because I thought this was like his swan song and he was going to fall all the way off. Brandon Curry is as good as he was a year ago.
Yeah.
He's doing the business of bodybuilding.
He'll catch you slipping.
Yeah.
We talked about it yesterday.
Some of these guys he's going to take out.
And he knows what his body can do. He's very comfortable in his skin, you know what I mean? And we were calling it last night. Those most muscular shots.
Yeah. Brandon hasn't dropped off that much. I thought we were writing him off, but he's going to give some guys some problems.
Well, I asked you previously who had dropped the farthest and come from the farthest up.
Yeah.
But who in recent times or way back had been in that 1 or 2 spot like Derek, fallen out, and then tightened back up? Because there's a lot of jockeying in that top 4.
There is a lot of jockeying in that top 4, but still we're talking about the top 4, and either all 4 of them could be Mr. Olympia. 3 of them already are. Andrew Jack would be a dream come true for him, coming from Nigeria and coming from all the adversity that he's come from, especially over in Dubai. He's the people's champion right now. I think people are rooting for that underdog. He has that Tony Freeman X-frame.
Yeah.
He could use some more hamstrings, he could use a little more thickness in certain areas, but he looks like an athlete. I don't think a lot of people would boo if he wound up winning the show.
And the posing routine. We already know what Andrew can do in the posing routine.
Yeah. He's going to the floor.
And he's going to the floor. And I believe, and I'm just hopeful that, like you said, the confidence comes alive in that routine. I know he likes to pose very slow, but we need him to actually show that fire. He had the crazy eyes last night.
He did.
And I was like,
I wanted to give him my glasses.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, I remember those days.
Yeah,
and you got to be starving for greatness, guys. You got to go out there with that aggression. And I'm really excited also for the pose down, because you got to start picking people off like you're a sniper.
Yeah.
You can't just, I don't want to see these guys kind of hee ha ha, let's hit a shot together. It's like, nope. If you're Samson, you go after Derek. You go after Hottie, you go after Andrew.
Yeah.
You call them out, and then you hit your own shots. You don't wait for someone, or you say, get your ass over here. I'm hitting the shot. I'm the current champion, not you. Don't let them, you got to do it.
Yeah.
Because those judges need to see it, the fans need to see it, and that's the only way we're going to figure this out, because we're going to crown a new champion or a retaining champion.
Fitzwater has that type of aggression. I see it in his eyes.
I saw him in the lobby this morning. He had it in his eyes.
Mad that no one was talking about him before.
Business.
He was mad we were ignoring him.
So we're going to come back. Last break, we're going to talk men's physique, and top to bottom, we're going to give some predictions. We're going to do that right after this commercial, guys.
Your grind with the science of results. High-tech pharmaceuticals brings power, performance, and precision to every product. Elevate your fitness. Visit hightechpharma.com today. Backed by science. Built for strength.
All right, Sean, the question I was going to ask you earlier came back to me. Derek competed a lot this year. Old school. Like guys will qualify and you don't see him for 8 months, but he did Olimpia, Arnold, Pittsburgh. Guys will qualify and you don't see him for 8 months, but he did Olimpia, Arnold, Pittsburgh.
Right. We can't write him off because a lot can happen in 24. Some guys will be better and some will be worse. He didn't stand out last night, but you know what? He's had a baby, he's at a gym, he's traveling, he's wearing the weight of trying to get that title back. There's a lot going on with Derek, so he did the best with what he has.
But it's been a long time since people competed that much.
It's a long time since guys have done 4 shows in less than a year, and you know what? I think he has to get that out of his way while he's young. I think this will be the last time he does that.
Yeah, let's hope so, because, you know, when you're Mr. Olympia and you're now Arnold Classic champion as well, you got to pace yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, that was something I learned from Sean. Sean plays top 5 12 years in a row for a reason. He would do the Olympia, then do the business of bodybuilding, then, you know, recalibrate everything and get back. The whole thing is about being fresh. You do not want to run your 100-meter Olympic record final in the quarters. You got to run it in the final. And sometimes, you know, you get caught slipping because your body is tired. God bless him for having the mental fortitude to even do all that. I'm sure after the Pittsburgh, he's probably like, damn, like should I have even done that?
Yeah. Right.
You know, because you don't have a quick turn. I mean, it's such a quick turnaround. You don't have enough time to like, oh, I'm not going to go to the gym for a month.
Yeah.
You still have the business. You still got to travel.
Yeah.
That wears on the body and wears on the mind. But, you know, I do believe him having that champion DNA. And if he can exude that confidence, he might be able to retain a title. He might be able to get it back. But, you know, it's going to be a valiant effort for him to do that in a major way. And it's all about who improved and who, I don't want to say shit the sheets, but like, you know, that happens. And
it happens a lot.
It happens a lot, man. So a lot can happen in 24 hours.
Well, let's talk about some of the guys that we didn't cover. That you got some first timers, you got some second timers. You got a guy that everybody was really excited to see, Urs Kalaczynski.
Yeah, and again, I mentioned it was going to be a little bit too big, too soon, too much, too fast, and it was. But if you ask him, he'd probably do it all over again, because competing with these guys, getting a taste of what it's going to be like, he'll be ready again next year, but he needs time off. He needs to get a lot bigger, has to bring up his back, because these contests are won from the back. Yeah. But he's a guy that we're going to be talking about down the road, not tonight.
And he's got the youth, right? You know, that's the good thing.
Yeah.
And now he's got the data. He knows what it feels like to stand next to, I mean, multiple Olympia champions. I mean, you got 4 of them on that stage. He's able to go back, rest, Rest.
I tried to say that. Nobody wanted to hear it. Sorry, guys.
Sean caught a lot of crap, guys,
Sorry.
and you guys on the internet, I got to go against you. Sean did say you got to be able to rest a little bit, and it's for those reasons. It's because although there's excitement, look,
You gotta pace yourself.
if we could compete every weekend, we would. But you're thinking of the long game too.
Don't give me your secondhand hate, but you're rarely wrong.
I know. Well, at the end of the day, I wasn't wrong about this situation. So he's going to have a great time. He's going to experience, but he's going to go home and he's going to realize he doesn't want to come to participate.
No.
He wants to come to
That's
compete
right.
because that's what he wants to do.
We got guys like Dorian Haywood last night.
Yeah, again, he's another guy that I think probably should have been celebrated for that Masters Olympia victory, and instead he became a pace car on a racetrack. We saw him. We weren't really paying attention because he wasn't in the fight.
Yeah.
No fault of his own, but this contest is beyond his pay grade.
Well,